In a modern city, it's difficult to find a highway with years of history like this, which has taken humanity and convenience into consideration of its design. In the early 1970s, this flyover was built to resolve the problem of traffic between the city and its surroundings. For more than 30 years, it's helped resolve the problem of traffic between Liverpool city centre and the roads into it. It has a design which is commonly used and accepted, but little known. This obscure pedestrian crossing, very highway, and for the pedestrians who use it, it's of great convenience. On this part of the flyover that drops down onto Dale Street, there's a slope without any railings. The aim is to provide an obstacle-free place where people who are in a rush can cross directly. So over on the other side of the road, the railings have pads to help people jump over. It's a system that's been used frequently since it was first introduced. On average, there are about 20 accidents here every year, but they're rarely anything to do with this flyover. In fact, it's thought we could see more of this design in Liverpool in the future. But it's what's underneath this flyover that really is a hidden gem. Welcome to Massage Street. This is just another example of considerate urban design, which proves how important quality of life is to Liverpudlians. In Asia, every park in Taipei fills up with people who wake up early to do exercises: Tai Chi, folk dance, jogging, sword brandishing, and foot massage. This street with lots of cobblestones is the best choice for these early people to enjoy foot massage. In the East, people consider this exercise as a way to keep fit. It's said that this helps prevent vascular diseases and gets your brain working. In Liverpool, people can also enjoy this kind of massage. On holidays or during lunch breaks, this massage street fills up with local residents and workers who come here to relax. When this massage street was first conceived, because of a lack of funding and complete planning, only this small path was built in this small hidden place. And it was only when more people started living in the city centre that they discovered this street and started using it for its intended purpose. Near Liverpool's main train station, we find another lovely sight of the city. On the pavement next to Rose Street, there are more railings. They block the movement of the pedestrians and seem to be of little use. But in fact, it's the design that prevents a pram from going into the roadway. This is the exit to the St John's shopping centre and car park, and it's here that people need to wait to cross the road. But because the pavement is so close to the roadside and there's this massive slope here, there have been a number of accidents where people have lost control of their prams and they've careered into the road. That's why we need this barrier system. Now, if people are waiting to cross the road and they drop something or lose control of a pram, this considerate design will come to their rescue. Just up the road from the baby stop, we find William Brown Street. It's surrounded by Liverpool Museum, Central Library and St George's Hall. Every Sunday or bank holiday, it attracts lots of visitors, not necessarily for the exhibitions and sightseeing, but for these dogs. In Liverpool, we call these doggy bars. They stretch for dozens of feet and they're not just used for blocking access to vehicles. As the sign suggests, they're also used for training dogs, some even in local competitions. In an agility show, weaving poles tests the dog's physical response and their tacit understanding of their masters, which rely on their training. So far in Liverpool, there aren't any large-scale parks or places for dog training, largely because facilities like these have already been integrated into the city to encourage the residents to make use of the things around them to carry out their leisure activities. I'm on the busiest road in Liverpool, Lime Street. We're back in front of the main train station and just down the road from Picton Library and the Walker. When town planners first looked at this area, they only really considered the traffic in front of the station. So there's no pavement access along this mile-long stretch of road, and the area in front of the station is split into two. If you want to go from here to the other side of the road, you have to walk some distance before you can find a way to cross. Finally, after the human rights group, the WHA, protested, this self-service handy path was installed on railings on both sides of the road, but you still need cooperation to cross. As its name suggests, in order to use this rolling handy path, someone has to roll it from one end to the other, so that pedestrians on both sides of the road can access it. After it's been used, someone needs to roll it back. Although it's not very convenient, for the passionate Liverpudlians, it doesn't take much effort. With an 800-year history, Liverpool has a great legacy, which can be seen in many of its brick warehouses and old buildings. But the walls have also become the stages for the very modern art of graffiti. When you walk around town and see graffiti, don't assume that it's something drawn by the youngsters. Instead, you may be standing in front of the works of artist Morgan Max. The reason why the original part of the wall is still standing is because it's an important legacy to this famous Liverpool graffiti artist. Max said, "Key to making great art is all in the composition," and this is one of his most important works. Morgan Max started street performance and graffiti on the streets of Liverpool in the early 1950s, but no one paid much attention to this type of activity at that time. According to researchers, many of Morgan's wonderful works have either been washed out or destroyed, and it's only now through these remains that we can still see the talent of this contemporary graffiti master. There's so much building work going on in the city centre at the moment that you'd be forgiven for thinking that this is part of a building site. In fact, it's actually a structure ahead of its time, the Cage. This creation on the edge of the Paradise project fully shows the future of the city's development, keeping the traditional spirit while speeding into the future. The architect, David Hoffman, skillfully makes use of the existing elements to combine the brick architecture of traditional Liverpool with the steel structure of modern architecture. Such a cool structure reveals a clue about the history of Liverpool's development and subtly tells us about the ups and downs in the city's history. So as we reflect on the past, we also look ahead towards the future. In its process of becoming the European capital of culture in 2008, Liverpool has already found a new direction from its historical development. And it's hoped that more spaces like this will be seen in Liverpool in the future. And if you think this is clever, wait until you see what they've done just up the road. Now, did you know that not all flyovers give priority to pedestrians? In this city, some are even reserved only for motorbikes. The road beneath the flyover is called Flybike. As its name suggests, this is a flyover specially used by freestyle bikes and motorbikes. A long time ago, there used to be a playground here, but after it closed down, it was demolished and transformed into a 3D racetrack. And it also allows motorbikes to use the route to avoid the danger of both having to compete for the use of the road. This really is a fascinating place. It attracts stunt bikes, stunt riders and extreme sports enthusiasts. It really is beginning to become a bit of a spectacle in this city. In fact, some people have even come just to stop and watch what's going on, although there have been breathtaking sights where some people haven't realised just what happens here. The performances fill the flyover with vigour, and the riders make the city even more vibrant. And here, another quirk only to be found in Liverpool. For those patient enough to be willing to wait at pedestrian crossings, there's a reward like this one. They push button and wait for signal, as instructed. And when the signal comes, they dance. But traffic signs don't mean much to the people here, so signs for pedestrians and vehicles are separated, with the pedestrians encouraged to wait on the traffic islands to cross the road. This traffic island, surrounded by signals exclusively for pedestrians, is rather like an outdoor dance floor. This is the hot area. In this small space there are nearly 10 sets of signals alone. At first sight they look rather like a public work of art. Some people even think it's a sound device by the artist Bruce Nauman. If you're ever in the area, why not come and experience this brand new urban design?